What's up, automation engineers? Today in this video we're going to talk about task command in Cypress. We can use this command to execute code in Node. Usually when we are executing stuff like see by get or see by click or something like that, that's being executed on the browser runtime or browser JavaScript runtime. But we can execute stuff in Node JavaScript runtime. So why do we want to do that? Because browser is really limited when it comes to accessing the file systems and stuff. There is a very good reason for that, but we have to use them. One more example is there are libraries that only works on Node.js, not on the browser. So we can use those in Cypress using tasks. So let's jump right in. So in this code, we are working with two files. First one is task command.test file, and by the way, this is the client side. The test script is the client, and I'm working with plugins index.js file. This is going to be our server side code. Now I'll get rid of this window because I need more space. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, now in the script you can see I'm calling task and I'm passing print, the event name. And in the backend, you can see I have registered task event handler, and I'm passing this callback function. It's the key is print, the value is this callback function. So when you call task print, it's going to trigger this print callback function. So in the end, it will run this function, log function. Because we are passing hello world in this script, that's going to be assigned, or when the callback is run, it's going to pass that value into this message parameter. So we will console log out that message. Now I got written okay. Actually, let me change that to null. Now this return statement is really important. I'll show you why, but first let's run this one. Cypress open. Let's move this to another workspace and click. It ran successfully. Now the console is empty, but we are console logging out this message. So where is it? So as I said, this is backend code. This is the Cypress runtime. Now if you check the console, the one we are running Cypress on, you can see the hello world printout. So basically this is ran on the Cypress runtime, not the browser. So this is a very basic example. Now let's get rid of this return value and let's rerun. As you can see, there is an error. The task print returned undefined. You must return a value or null, or a promise that resolves to a value or null to indicate that task was handled. So that's how Cypress identify if this task is handled or not. So returning a value is really important. This time actually return OK string. Now when I save this one and rerun the code, nothing happened. But you can click on this log. Now you can see it has the yielded value OK. Now if you have watched my previous videos, when something is yielded, that can be accessed in the next command. Now let's try that. I'm going to call den command and let's pass a parameter called res, and let's print out that console res. Now we should see okay in the console, in the client side. So let me give the summary. We are calling task. This will send a message to backend because we have registered print event handler. Under task, it's going to trigger this log callback function, this one right here. By the way, this name has to be the same. That's how it identifies the particular callback. this print and the event name we are passing, and it's going to take the message. This time it's hello world string, and it will console log out the message. Now we should see that in the console. As you can see, we got hello world and it's returning okay from the backend. Now when it returns a value, it's going to be available in the yielded value, so we can call then command or any other commands if you want to access it using the parameter, first parameter in the callback. So that's the basic idea. Now let's go to the next example. I'll comment these lines. This time we are passing a complex object, not a simple string. I got a name key and the value is my name. Now let's save this one. Let's go to the console. As you can see, it has printed the name, the complex object. So we can pass complex stuff into tasks as argument if you want to send more values or complex object. Okay, now let's try something different. So far what we have tried up to this point is pretty much useless, because we are passing strings around and printing them. But now let's try something browser runtime cannot do and Node.js can. So I'm going to uncomment this one, and it's calling a task called file, so we'll have to uncomment that. Files is in calling ls callback function. Let's uncomment that too, and we don't need log anymore. So this function is accessing a library called standard library fs. I'll have to import that one too. I think this looks good. Now let's see. Yep, as you can see, it has listed all the files and directories in my home directory. We got all that. So cool. Now let's jump to the next example. Let's uncomment the stuff. So this time we are running wait task, so we'll have to uncomment that in the task callbacks. We are calling a callback called timeout. Let's get rid of all the comments lines, and inside there we are calling a method called or function called wait. Now if you don't know anything about promises and basically asynchronous calls, I have a separate video on that. You should see that in the screen right now, or if not, just check the video description. You will find the link there. Now as you can see, I got a set timeout call. I have wrapped that in a promise. So after the given timeout, it's going to resolve that promise. The time is 3000 milliseconds because we are passing it in the client side, and we are calling it in timeout callback function. So this task should take 3000 milliseconds to resolve, and after that's resolved or task is done, it should print then done in the console, in the client console or the browser. Now let's try this one. You can see it's taking 3000 milliseconds. Let me run that one again. Now it's really important to return this promise, otherwise let me show you that. Return null, and when we rerun this, you can see it prints done immediately to the console. So let me explain you why. Wait is a asynchronous function or a promise. It's going to execute that promise, but this will not block the thread, right? because it's asynchronous. Because this is not a blocking call, it's going to return a null immediately after this wait call. So the task will be resolved and then will be called immediately. Right now Cypress does not have a handler to handle this promise, so simply to resolve that issue we can return the promise. So Cypress will wait on this promise to resolve and complete the task after that. Now there is one more important thing I should mention, which is this null value. It's really important to resolve non-undefined value, otherwise there will be an error. I'll save this one and run it again. It will take 3000 milliseconds and got an error. So it's the same message we got previously. So make sure to resolve a undefined value. If you got nothing to return or resolve, just pass null. Okay, now let's talk about task options. We can pass options like this after the argument parameter. Let's reduce this to 100 milliseconds, and our first option, there are two options. First option is log. Let's pass through, and when you run this, it's going to show the log in the log window. But if we set it to false, it will not show that command in the log. So that's the first one, and we got timeout. Let's set it to let's say 1000, and I'll change this back to 2000. So task is going to take 2000 milliseconds to complete, but timeout is 1000, so this will fail after 1000 milliseconds. Okay, what is going on here? Okay, it failed. I forgot to save the file. Timeout after waiting 1000 milliseconds. So those two other options. Now actually there is one more important thing when it comes to timeouts. Let's go to settings, configuration, and here you will find a timeout called task timeout. So this is the default timeout used by the task command. There is usually most of the commands are using default command timeout, Cypress get and click and stuff like that. And there is a separate one for requests. There is a request timeout. For tasks we got task timeout. By default I think it's 60,000, but I have override that in the configuration. You can go to cypress.json file and you can override the timeout. Now lastly we got best practices. In the anti-pattern you can see, try to start a web server from within Cypress scripts with exec or task is an anti-pattern. Now why is that? Because we have a timeout. This task should resolve within the given timeout, otherwise it will fail. So if you try to start a web server or something like that, that runs forever, it will time out, and the test case will fail. So that's an anti-pattern. Pretty much any command in Cypress should resolve in a given time. So basically, if the thing you are trying to run runs forever, just don't do it using task. Okay, I think this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.